Welcome. I am Dan, your friendly fishmonger. I'm Dan, your friendly fishmonger here at dansfish.com. We do this live stream every other Wednesday now at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 9 p.m. for those that might be mountain challenged. And the reason I'm doing it every other week instead of every week now is it's the only way I'm able to make any video. It's been a long time since I've been able to sit down with the camera, not sit down, but get the camera and walk around and show you guys a tour of the fish we have here at the Dan's Fish Warehouse. People have been asking for it over and over and over, and I want to do it. But it takes me about, let's see, 2 hours and 15 minutes to do a live stream, to set up and have the hour and a half with you guys and then tear it all down. And so if I do that 1 week and then the next week I take that time and I use it to grab the camera and walk around and film a tour and show you some of the fish, then I think I'll be able to actually fulfill the most numerous, the most common request I get when it comes to this, which is, show me the fish, I want a tour. I get that all the time. And so I've been trying to figure out how to do it, and this is my best solution so far. So this week we're doing a live stream. Next week we'll make a tour and a video, and then the following week we'll live stream again. So I know we're adding a little complexity to the schedule, and anytime you add complexity, it's an issue, but also we're adding tour videos. So that's the plan. Before I forget, I want to say we are having our 4th of July barbecue here at Dan's Fish this year on July 4th. Imagine that. So if you want to come up to Sheridan, Wyoming, see a ton of fish, ton of tanks, and geek out with a bunch of fish people, then July 4th it is. Come on down. I think we'll start about 10 a.m. We'll probably go till 6 or 7, or whenever everybody gets tired. And yeah, it should be a good time. Come on down. We'll feed you. We'll barbecue and get you food, and you can come and eat and hang out and see a bunch of fish and talk to a bunch of fish nerds. So we are having a presentation this year. One of our fish breeders that we buy lots and lots of celestial pearl danios from is going to come up and give a presentation on how they breed celestial pearl danios. So nothing super formal, but our first foray into adding an event or adding a presentation to the barbecue as opposed to just come hang out. So that should be good. I think, yeah, that about covers it for the barbecue. Well, I'm halfway done building the flyer for it so I can send it out, but we're here in Sheridan, Wyoming, and the address and times and all those, the date and all those other details we just talked about will be on that flyer. So if you want to come to Wild Wyoming, a place many have never been, you could be one of the few to actually verify this state exists. We need more witnesses. We have shirts here that locals wear that says Wyoming isn't real. That's what the shirts say, and it's kind of like, yeah, I get it. All right, with that, I want to talk about our shipping report. We are now at 98.83% success. That's the percentage of fish that we've shipped that have arrived fat and sassy to our customers over the last 12 months. We want to be at 99%. We're just slightly below that, 0.07% below that. We are at 98.83. And we did make it a little harder on ourselves. I don't know if we're actually having more issues or if we're just recording the data better. And we added another thing. So now instead of just, did it arrive DOA or did it die, a day or two later? Did it not settle in and thrive for you, basically? We're also adding, were there issues, like was it spine crooked? Was it missing a fin? Was it missing an eye? That stuff. So we've added 33% more probability to our records that there will be a problem. So I guess it makes sense then that we're not at 99. We're still at 98.83, just because we made it a little harder on ourselves. But we decided we don't just want the fish to get there healthy and thrive for our customers. We also don't want any deformities. We've never wanted that. We've always worked really hard to prevent that, but we're tracking that now as carefully as the other items. So that is what's going on with the shipping report. So 98.83% of the people that have been sent to fish in the last 12 months from us here at Dan's Fish have got a fish that does well, that it arrives in good shape and healthy. And it seems to be all arranged properly. Yeah, we'll say it that way. All right, shipping report done. Our giveaway today is free shipping, which can be up to $69.99, $70. So our shipping starts at $39.99 and goes up to $69.99. I wish it were cheaper, but it is UPS next day air service. It's super speedy, very reliable. There's occasionally a problem, but it's quite reliable. And that next, go on an airplane, get there next day, that ain't cheap. And $39.99, it's man, if you went to your local UPS store and were like, I have this box that I'd like to send next day air, it probably costs like $150. Like, real talk. This is an expensive service. So we've got as good a rate as we can, and we don't make any money on the shipping. The shipping is, we try to not, well, we don't. We don't, shipping is not a profit center for us. We don't want to do that. We want to make our profit on the fish we sell, and the shrimp we sell, and the snails we sell by doing a good job with those. So we're doing, the shipping's as cheap as we can make it. We've done everything we can, and that's what we can do for now. We keep looking at it. We keep looking at other ways, because we know that shipping's one of the biggest barriers to entry to buy from us, right? It's a lot of money to pay shipping, for sure. But so we keep looking at it, but as of now, that's what we can do. So you get free shipping, though, if you win the giveaway tonight. And the reason I said all that is so you know there's actual value to it. Like, you know, $39 to $69. That's not bad. All right, let's talk about fish. I'm bushed. For about 2.5 weeks, I've had, we're making a bunch of changes and improvements here, upgrading our systems, integrating a bunch of new ideas into our business and how we run things to make it more efficient and more manageable. When this started in my basement, it was easy. It was just me. I knew where every fish was. I had intimate knowledge of the fish's health and condition. I knew when they had arrived. I knew when they had started eating. I knew all that stuff. So I didn't need paperwork. You know, I didn't need anything like that. I just did the thing. And then you get a couple people to help, and it's like, okay, now we're all doing the thing. And eventually you grow to the point we're at now, where you have, well, how many employees? I don't know exactly. I could count. Anyway, enough employees that it's like, hey, yeah, we've been putting systems in place, but we're big enough now that we're like, oh, we actually need to revamp some of these systems and make this business work more efficiently, and the quality control not get dinged, and just instead of everyone doing everything, which is how we operated for a long time, okay, it's too much going on for that to happen. So dividing out the roles and all that stuff. So that's what we're working on. So with that being said, it's been a lot of work. I haven't had a lot of sleep, so I might be a little bit punchy. I might be a little bit dumb tonight, honestly. My brain is tired. But even with that, I'm tired, but I'm happy. I love being able to do the thing that I enjoy every day as a job. Like, how lucky am I? I get to get up in the morning, and even if I'm exhausted, do something I love. So, yeah, thank you for making that possible. Everyone that's a customer and a supporter, we really, really appreciate it here. All right, Windy Fish. I like the every other week thing. Makes it feel like something special I want to catch live rather than just watch on replay. Well, I'm glad it works for you. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I'll be in Rollins in September. Might have to make the extra drive to see you guys, says Sir Brixalot. Shoot us an email, Sir Brixalot. Depending on how nuts things are at the time and which day you can come, we might be able to make that happen. Michael I always want to say Melier, but it's Michael Melier. How many guppies do you typically like to bring in at a time? I have several batches of fry from the platinum dumbos I got from you and need to find them at home. So 50 to 200 pairs is what we like to do. See here, less than 50 pairs is difficult because the amount of take space the guppies take, if we have less than 50 pairs, the tank doesn't pay for itself. Hang on, I just saw this thing's not in its cradle very well, this camera. There we go. Was I crooked that whole time? But now I'm crooked the other way, aren't I? Oh well, I'm just a little crooked today. That's fine. That's fine. Actually, I think I can fix that. No, not easily. Yeah, I can. All right, there you go. Did you get up and personal with my chest hair there? Sorry. Okay, there. I think that's better. That's better. We'll go with that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, 50 pairs minimum. Up to maybe 100 pairs. If it's like red dragon guppies, we can't keep them. We can't keep enough. I buy like 200 pairs of those. So, but the platinum dumbos, I'd love to buy 50 to 100 pairs from you. Brett Baker, is the shipping report calculated per fish or per shipment? It's based on the number of fish. So we take the total number shipped and how many problems there were, and it's the individual fish shipped, and that's how we get it. So it's not by shipment, it's by individual fish. Okay, scrolling because chat just jumped, which is weird. I haven't even gone that long. There we go. Brett Baker, is the shipping report calculated? I already did that one, like just a second ago. Christopher Nyhouse, in your earlier years, you had that soft water. Now I see it's closer to ours with 8.2 and harder. Can you elaborate? Going through your old podcast from the beginning, loving it. I'm glad you're loving it. And man, there's so many episodes I haven't loaded up on there yet. One day I'll have the time. Anyway, yeah, so I live in the same town, but when I was in the previous facility, we used the municipal water. We're really lucky here. We have the Bighorn Mountains like right there. I can see them outside my window. And the snow on those mountains, which I could see until a couple days ago. Now it's, melted up high enough I can't see it. That's my water source. It's just pure melted snow from mountains I can see right there. Really nice water. The municipality draws that water from up there at the base of the mountain. And it's nice, soft snow runoff. That's why it's soft water in the previous facility. I'm drawing the water locally here from a creek. I have my warehouse here on a creek, and we draw the water from right here where the warehouse is. And what the water does is it leaves the Bighorn Mountains, the city draws it for their supply, and then the creek continues to run down, and it goes through a limestone canyon, and there's a big limestone aquifer that feeds it all downstream of where the city draws from. And so all that hardness gets absorbed into the water, and when it gets down here at our warehouse, it's very hard and alkaline. So here in Sheridan, if you draw your water from the creek, it's going to be hard and alkaline. If you draw it from the municipal service, it's going to be nice and soft. So that's the two water sources I have available. Holly, what's a good mid-water tank mate for neons in a 37? I think that green neon kubotai rasboras they're fairly mid-water fish. Yeah, I think these guys are good mid-water fish. A group of those with neons, you'd have the blues, you'd have the reds, and you'd have the greens. I think that would look pretty nice. That's the one that pops to mind. I mean, there's a million different options, but that's the one that entered my head when you asked the question. All right, I think what I'm gonna do now is I wanna reward the folks that are here early and do the giveaway now. Sometimes I feel like people pop in towards the end of the stream because they know that's when I usually do giveaways, and they might just pop in just to try to win, which is fine. I don't begrudge you that at all. But every now and then I want to reward the folks that are here early, so I'm going to do that now. So if you would like to win free shipping at dancefish.com, hashtag free ship. We didn't get real creative. but hashtag FREESHIP. No spaces, caps don't matter. And we'll enter that here. And there you go. If you enter that in, you will be entered to win free shipping from dancefish.com. We'll draw that in just a little while here once the giveaway gets populated. There, it's starting to go in. All right, there we are. To reward you folks that aren't just piling in at the end hoping for a freebie. Connor Kamenicki. Hi, I have a 40 long, I have like 40 longfin L144 plecos. Would you have any interest in them, about 1 to 2 inches? If they were like longfin Snow Whites or longfin Super Reds, then yes. But if they're just your standard bushy nose, no thank you. I like that fish, but the market for those is not sufficient for us to bring that fish in to sell it. Well, yeah, that's the basics of it. Ryan Fish Adventures, are geophagus safe around guppies? Kind of. Like, okay. Not really, but kind of. So if you had some full-grown guppies in an aquarium, and you put some small geophagus in there, and they raised up with them, and they were like plants and stuff where the guppies could hide, then maybe. But if you have geophagus and they're big and they're full grown, and then you go to add guppies to that tank, no, that's going to be like, oh, you're feeding us, is what they're going to think. So, yeah, I would say that one's iffy. Kind of like a maybe in some instances, but I don't think it's a sure thing by any stretch of the imagination. Chad just jumped. The next one I can see is Harley Cross. Hello, Harley. Your thoughts on horseface loaches going in with electric blue Acaras? I think the horseface loaches are long enough and skinny enough that when the electric blue Acaras, if the electric blue Acaras are full grown, they might see them as snacks. But that being said, there are some species of horseface loaches that get like 7 inches. So if you have the big ones and they're full grown and the electric blue Acaras aren't, then that might work. Yeah, but basically it comes down to this. If the Acara's mouth is big enough that it can swallow the horseface loach, eventually there's a likelihood that that's going to happen. So I guess it depends on which species of horseface loach, how big they are compared to the Acaras. Connor, back again. They are lemon blue plecos. I think I got my L numbers mixed up. Oh, okay, lemon blues. Would you send me an email? Send us an email to hello, actually, just send us, hello at dancefish.com, HELLO at dancefish.com. Let us know how big they are, let us know how many you have, that kind of thing, and we'll get back to you. By the way, though, I'm really behind right now on getting back to people, just because it's been kind of crazy busy around here. So if you are a breeder that's reached out to us and you haven't heard back, I'm sorry, you're in my inbox. I've got you. I just have not had time to get to that yet. I apologize. I got to do better, but sometimes it's like, yeah, but also I was up till 1 a.m. and had to get up early the next morning to ship fish, and sometimes you got to sleep. Again, not complaining. I love my life, but sometimes I'm tired. All right, Nevins Canine Covey. What a great name. It's like combining all kinds of animal groups. In your opinion, can rosy loaches go with pea puffers? I wouldn't, personally, I don't keep anything with pea puffers because I think eventually they're going to nip. I think they're going to be like, oh, that fish is sitting still and that looks tasty, and oh, there goes half the dorsal fin. So can they? Maybe, but they're no nippers. They're naughty like that. So I would just keep pea puffers with other pea puffers, honestly. That would be my choice. Now, it might be able to be done, but it's not something I do just because I know how nippy they are. Is there someone who's tried it and it worked? Maybe, but I'm not that person. Killer Kitty 08. Thanks for the tour video. Do you ever sing to the fish? Yeah, sometimes when I go batty. Do you think that's what makes them so amazing? Keep being awesome, Dan, and the Danios and Danionellas. Yes, I often sing to the fish. When I'm here late at night by myself, man, I'm singing up a storm. I'm singing like I'm in the shower. Yeah, I'll put on some, I don't know, good old Broadway show tunes and let her rip. That's right, I'm a showmo. Brian, hi Dan, hi everyone. Looky here, I made the live stream. Brian, you did indeed. Welcome. I'm glad you could. Good to see you. Can't wait to get my red devil loaches tomorrow, says JR. Ooh, I can't wait either. Yeah, I can't wait to see them full grown. They're small now, but the red's coming in. Like the red's there, like in the tail, and you can see it fading in across the back of the fish. But man, when they grow up, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see pictures. JR, when they get bigger and they fully color, please send me pictures, because I won't see that. I'll sell them while they're still small, and I'll miss out on that. That's one fish that one day I would keep in a dream tank. They're fantastic. When will you be getting more platinum Dumbo guppies in stock? Are you talking about the platinum Dumbo red tail guppies? Hopefully soon. We actually have a breeding colony here, and got some offspring from that. And if all goes well, they'll be big enough and ready to sell shortly. I'm also, though, I can't produce enough. We're not really a breeding facility here. So, yeah, if Michael Melier, I want to say Meliere, if Michael Meliere wants to have some and I can buy them from him, then maybe even quicker. My breeder that I usually get them from, that I import them from, I'm not able to get any this next import. So maybe the next one they'll be available. Care to share any ideas or suggestions you're considering implementing from Corey's visit? So one thing is, how do you keep communication all together? And so we're transitioning. Hang on, I gotta fix something on the camera. There's a cord there that looked like it wanted to fall out. And if that happened, we would go dark. Communication and task software. We're big enough, and there's enough of us doing different things that in order to really manage that, like it's been Google spreadsheets, a lot of this. There's some stuff that we've built the software for on the back end of our website to help us manage things. But yeah, a lot of Google spreadsheets. So we're switching to, we've already done it actually, using Monday.com. Still, we started using it. I wouldn't say we're fully over yet, which is kind of like Asana or any other of those other task management communication platforms. So that's one that already I like. I can just glance at it and be like, oh, okay, this is what I need to do. So that's something that I think is really nice. And that was Corey's suggestion. It's like, yeah, it's probably time to get off spreadsheets. And we're like, yeah, you're probably right. So. Maiden, would it be worth our time to set up a couple tanks in our classroom next year and raise neocaridina ship for a FFA project? Federal Farmers, I can't remember. It's like 4-H, right? The FFA, Future Farmers of America. That's what it is. And sell them locally. How long is your semester? How do you have? Is it like the 9-month school year? I would say yeah. Like if you set that tank up now, get it nice and mature and steady and stable, and then I would say yes. And by the way, I haven't forgot that we're doing the giveaway. I'll get to that in just one second. We've kind of made a change in how we're keeping shrimp and some of the snails. We used to feed them, I don't have it here, like large pellets, right? Like algae wafers, large pellets, every now and then some Bacteria or something like that. And what would happen is the shrimp would all congregate on the pellets, and that seemed fine. It's like, oh, look, they're eating. But what didn't enter my dull brain at the time was that, hey, if they're all on there, then there's lots of shrimp that aren't getting to the food. They have to kind of dig their way through, get a bite, and then someone probably pushes them out of the way, and it's just like, it's like a brawl in the cafeteria, right? So here's a suggestion that I would like to make, is that if you feed food that disperses all around, then it's easier for the shrimp to get it. Each shrimp can have its own little place to eat instead of all having to go to the same couple pellets. right, and try to fight for their dinner. So we've been using this stuff. The Easy Community Floating Pellets from Aquarium Co-op, and also the Small Fish Magic Nano Feed. This is kind of awesome. The Magic Nano Feed has been a game changer for us. We've been able to get little blueberry snails to eat it. So Corey told me when he was here, one change is, he's like, those are filter feeders. And I was like, there's no way. Like, I don't see like a big thing where they're sucking water. And he's like, Chris Lukup said that those are filter feeders. And I was like, well, okay, Chris kind of is the guy that would know that. And I was watching them. I'm like, they're scraping the glass. It looks like they're scraping the glass. I don't know. But I tried this because they're tricky. I don't know if anyone's completely figured out the blueberry snails yet. And so I tried this, the Magic Small Fish Feed, and I literally saw them go up the glass to the top, to the surface of the water, because there was a lot of the nano feed on the surface. Some was floating around in the tank, but some was on the surface. And they went up there and they stayed in the water on the glass, and they pushed a little tube up, their little mouth thing. Instead of scraping, they kind of started sucking, and they were sucking in the Magic Nano Feed. And that blew my mind. Because I guess when they don't have enough food to filter, then they resort to trying to kind of scrape, maybe. I don't know. I'm not an expert on them yet. I'm still figuring them out. But at least I'm like, oh, at least now I have a food that I can verify they're eating. Because I don't know how your experience has been, but with the blueberry snails, we'll put in algae wafers. They don't seem to touch it. We'll put in protein pellets. They don't seem to touch it. We'll put in zucchini. When it really rots down, then they'll kind of go and hoover it up a little bit. But the normal foods, I was like, every other snail I feed these foods to, there's like, yay, boom, pile on, right? But the blueberry snails weren't. And so I think Chris Lukup's probably right. I think what Corey told me is probably true. So we've been trying that, and I've seen them feeding. It hasn't been super long yet, but I've seen them filter feed, if you will, on it. So I'm hopeful that that will be a breakthrough for me, because they're tricky so far. But for the shrimp, we've been doing it for a while, and the numbers are exploding. So I think having the food dispersed all over is really helpful. Okay, got a giveaway I got to get to. So here we are for free shipping. 213 entries, and the winner is Jeremy Suttles. Hey, Jeremy. Or not Jeremy, Jimmy. Sorry, Jimmy. I butchered it. Jimmy Suttles. Hey, Jimmy. Congratulations. You have won some free shipping. You have 2 minutes to chime in. Leave a comment in chat to claim your winnings. If this timer gets to 2 minutes before you do that, then you forfeit your winnings, and we will draw someone else. Sorry, but them's the rules. So we'll check back in a couple minutes, see if you chimed in before 2 minutes was up. If not, got to redraw. Okay, next question. Oh, so anyway, Maiden, that's just a trick that we've been doing that is a change that's been successful for us, is feeding small foods to the shrimp that go everywhere. It's kind of the idea behind Bacteria E and those other things. But yeah, if you do that, I'd also have like a ton of Java moss in there, or a lot of surface area. I'd have some wood in there that's, I put it in now, so it's got, good biofilm and stuff on it. And I think you'd have tons of baby shrimp raising up. And by the way, you don't have to go fancy. Like red cherry shrimp, massive seller. I can't keep them in stock. If I had a couple thousand of those in stock right now, that would be great. They sell like crazy. So don't feel like you have to go expensive or fancy. If you get a good red strain of cherry shrimp, man, those sell like crazy. You don't have to go nuts with some of the really hard Caridina types. K. Henry, do angelfish age out of breeding behavior and aggression? Oh, eventually. I mean, we all do, right? Some of us are closer than others. Eventually, yes, but for almost all of their life, once they're adults, no. But if you're having trouble with that, I would suggest lowering the temperature. If you take the temperature down to, I don't know, 73, 72 degrees, something like that, they're going to mellow out quite a bit. Their metabolism will slow down, and there'll be a lot less breeding going on. Hang on, chat jumped on me, so I'm scrolling like a madman. I better get over there and see if Jimmy, not Jeremy, there it is. Look at that, Jimmy Suttles, aka not Jeremy, chimed in at 46 seconds. So Jimmy, you have won free shipping to you. If you would send us an email to hello@dansfish.com, that's HELLO @dansfish.com, let us know that you're the winner and we will get you set up with free shipping. Yeah, by the way, JR's comment on the Red Devil loaches, Hillstream loaches. JR, would you please let me know when you get them, like how everyone's doing? They're so cool. I want to know that they got there okay. And scrolling some more. Okay. Just about there. Here we are. Harley Cross. I got them from you, not sure what species they are. Horse-faced loaches. We've had a few different species, so I'm not either. We've had some of the big ones. We've had some of the little ones. But if they're not like, 5 to 7 inches, they're probably the smaller species. And I don't know. I think Acaras could snack on those. Even the like bigger ones are very slender. That's what horse-faced loaches are. They're a slender worm almost that, burrows in the sand. So even the big ones aren't real thick. So if you have the smaller species, I'd be really cautious. But Harley, ultimately, you got to look at like, okay, here's the Acara's mouth. Here's the loach. Is it worth the risk? Got to make that call. Mr. B CPDs, hey, it's been a minute, Mr. B's. Good to hear from you. A pair of blue spotted trout just spawned. Oh, no way. A few minutes ago, I siphoned the gravel where they spawned. Fingers crossed, I got some eggs. That would be awesome. Aren't those beautiful? So, okay, blue spotted. These guys right here. This is such a beautiful fish. Active, awesome, beautiful. And what I don't have on this picture, because apparently the whole group I got when I was taking this picture was females, is the orange on the males. The males have this beautiful orange coloration on their fins. Oh, these pictures really aren't showing it. It's a bright orange. There you go. That kind of gives you a sense of it. None of the pictures are really showing. There you go. That's showing it. But anyway, nice orange edging on the fins, where on the females you have the white. That is orange on the males. And they're pretty stunning. So Mr. B's, that would be awesome. That would be the first person I've known that would have bred and raised them here in the United States if you end up being successful. Oh boy. Oh boy. Cody James, what would some good tank mates for an electric blue Acara for a 55? Well, electric blue Acaras are fairly peaceful. I had 6 of them that were full grown in a 125-gallon tank. I know that's bigger than what you're talking about, but I'm saying that so I can tell you what species I kept them in successfully. So gold roseline loaches, I kept them with Apistos. Now, I had a massive sword plant in that tank and some logs and stuff, so the Apistos have plenty of hiding spots. And it's not like there's a bare tank with Apistos and full-grown Acara, so keep that in mind. A big school of skunk Corridoras. I think they were L182 plecos, one of the Ancestras, the black with kind of white spots on it. What else did we have in there? Oh, I'm trying to remember that old tank. If you watch some old live streams, you'll probably see them in the tank with the other fish. I used to have a big aquarium behind me when I live streamed, and you can actually see what was in there. That's what comes to mind. I think at one point there was a school of silver hatchet fish. They were Silver hatchetfish aren't massive. I'd say they were an inch and a half, something like that, maybe 2 inches when they got full grown. At some point I had swordtails in there. At some point I had platies in there. So electric blue acara, as long as the other fish isn't big enough for it to eat, I think it'll be fine, provided that there's enough space that if they do spawn, that the other fish have a place to get away. Because during spawning, they'll defend the spawning site, but they, in my experience, don't take over the entire aquarium like some cichlids do. So they spawned all the time in that tank. Now that was 6 feet from side to side because it was 125 gallon. Yours is 4 feet, but I still think that's enough room. So I would honestly say if the fish is big enough to not get eaten and is peaceful but not a pushover, I think it could go with electric blue acara. They are not a nasty fish. Ahmed Magdi, hey, good to hear from you again. Your rabbit snail colony looks awesome. What substrate are you using for them to burrow in? Right now, it's a bare bottom aquarium. We had sand for a while, but we switched to bare bottom just for ease of maintenance. We can keep it cleaner that way. But fine sand works. And actually, what I found is they don't really bury that much. What I've seen them do is like they'll go undercover. Like if you have a piece of wood in there or something, they'll sometimes go under the wood and hang out. But even when I had sand and wood and all kinds of stuff, they were often still out and about. They're not, I don't think there's something that like does poorly if it can't hide. They're plenty outgoing. But fine sand worked. Rose Munson, what do you prefer to feed your L14 Sunshine? So the Goldie Eye or Sunshine Plecos, we feed them a rotation of extreme monster pellets. That's for protein. And then the next day we'll probably give them like an algae wafer so they get some veggies. And then every now and then we'll give them frozen bloodworms or frozen brine shrimp. And every now and then we'll give them a coin of zucchini to chew on. So the main diet is just a rotation between protein pellets and veggie pellets. And they do great on that. We raised them up from like 1.5 inches to like 4 inches, something like that. Running water, did someone purchase the rest of the blue Colombian tetras? Yes. Or did you delist them? No, they're sold. In fact, there's someone here in Sheridan that bought a big group of them, and they'll pick them up on Friday. They're big, they're impressive. They're like, they're full grown at this point. That could go with an electric blue acara just fine. Those are big, deep-bodied tetras. How often does your business run into incurable diseases, whether it's has no known cure or strong resistance to available medication? It does happen, Robert. I don't have the exact stats on how often, but the only time we've had a really scary disease was twice. So there's been twice here that we did that, and that's when I'm really grateful that, you know, we run the way we do, so that it doesn't get passed around. Every tank's kind of its own little environment here. So yeah, but it's happened twice where we had a disease that I was like, ooh, that's scary. The Bird Show, are there any, in that sense I started, so 7 years now, twice in 7 years, that we've had something that was really kind of terrifying. The Bird Show, are there any eels that would be happy in a 20 tall? Yeah, I think that you could put the dwarf red-tail eels in there. They only get about 7 inches. What I would do in that case, though, is I'd have a lot of hardscape going up in that tank with lots of nooks and crannies and holes and stuff, and they'll go in there. And it doesn't matter if the cave is up high or down low or what, they'll crawl on that, find a place, and go in it. So what they want is surfaces to explore. So as long as you create a lot of surface area, it doesn't really matter if it's a horizontally oriented tank or kind of vertically oriented one. They'll be happy either way. Look at all this love we're getting here. Denise has gifted 5 Dan's Fish memberships. Thanks for the love, Denise. Appreciate it. Oink Master Supreme Forever, aka Oinky. What a name. Hi Dan, do you have experience keeping upside down catfish? And if so, do you find them difficult to maintain and breed? Also, do you ever sell them on your website? Man, back in the day, I've kept them. It's been a decade. I didn't find them difficult to keep. I never tried breeding them. And we don't sell them on our website right now. I've tried some types of Synodontis, and man, just the customer base wasn't there. We sat on those things for months. So, in fact, I think I ended up giving a lot of them away. So because of that, we don't bring them in anymore. I'm like you, though. I think they're awesome. Like, I have a problem as a business owner. It doesn't make sense to bring fish into the business that don't sell, but I tend to like the weird stuff. So I'm with you, Oinky. I think they're awesome, but when it comes to a business decision, I don't bring them in. Hey, Ahmed Magni has joined up. Thank you for joining the Fishmonger crew. Ahmed, you are now an honorary Danio or Danionella. Rachel S. I just wanted to say thank you for being such a wealth of knowledge. I'm going back in time and listening to the old podcasts. I'm on episode 98 currently, and I'm learning so much. Thank you. You're welcome, Rachel. Cheers. Thanks for that. Just know that in this hobby, you never know it all. And so I'm sure I've said lots of things over the years that now I'm like, oh, nope, now I know different. I don't know what those things are, but take everyone says with a grain of salt. Rely on your own experience as much as possible. I literally will have people telling, like, I'll experience something. An example does not come to mind. Does it? Oh, yeah. Goodeids. So people will be very concerned that I keep, like, the red-tailed Goodeid, Xenotoca dodroi, or some of the Scyphia species. It's 79 degrees. That's the temperature I keep all my water in. They're like, no, if you keep them hot, you'll have problems, They won't breed right, they'll go sterile, all these things. And I'm like, well, maybe you've experienced that, and maybe you had a thing happen and thought it was from the heat, but I've literally kept, I don't know, for years a colony of Xenotoca dodroi here, breeding, reproducing. I don't know how many generations we're in at this point. And I'll have people tell me literally that I can't do that. And I'm like, but I see it happening long term here, over and over, generation after generation. And they're not sterile. And you get a pretty equal number of sexes. And I can sell them as pairs. And so I know that you're an expert and you're telling me this, but I got to go with my own experience on this one, right? I think that's important in this hobby because there's so many people that experience something and think that that's always going to be the case, and you might do something and experience the exact opposite. And so just keep that in mind. Your experience trumps what everyone says, always. Trippy Aquatics, love your enthusiasm for the fish. Man, it's what keeps me going. After 30 plus years of doing this, you'd think I'd be sick of it, but I like it more and more every day, honestly. Like, there's a goal to reach, there's progress towards that goal, and that I find very motivating. Even when I'm on, like, very little sleep for weeks. Plebeian J. Not to be confused with Patrician J. My thanks for the shipping videos. A 5th time mailing today, and all made it safe and sound. About 70 Pandacoras scattered across the country thanks to you. That's awesome, Plebeian J. I'm glad that the shipping method's working for you. If you ever get like 1 to 500 Pandacoras that you want to sell all at once, hit me up. I would love to buy them in bulk from a breeder in the United States. That would be amazing. El Bapor? El Bapor. That's what I'm going with. When will you be getting more Platinum Dumbo Guppies? I think I already talked about that one. The Scrum TV. All rugby, all the time. I got my gudgeons. All right. They're already breeding and schooling with my original pair beautifully. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that, Scrum. The Empire gudgeons that we have in right now, they're beautiful. Like, if you guys want to see them, check out the most recent fish tour I did of the warehouse here. I show you them in detail. They're breeding in that tank. They're fired up. They're looking awesome. Man, that fish is just mind-blowing. So, okay, for those that don't know what this fish is, It's this. So this is the beautiful stock photo, and then here's the pictures I took. This is, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches-ish. They start coloring up so nicely, the males, and they just become these beautiful, beautiful fish. And by the way, they're not fully colored up here. The orange, the intensity of the orange is not really showing down the body on these. But these are an absolutely fantastic fish, and I'm so glad to hear that yours are doing well, Mr. Rugby or Mrs. Rugby. There's an image there, but it's so small I can't tell. Javier Taino, I got my 519s a few weeks ago and they looked awesome. What do you guys feed them in the warehouse? Same as the Goldie Eye Plecos. So a rotation of protein pellets and algae wafers, but also with small plecos when they first arrive. These have been here long enough that they transitioned to pellets for the most part. When they first arrive, we feed frozen bloodworms, limited numbers, but that kind of, and coins of zucchini along with the pellets. And that just kind of gets them tempted. That gets them to start eating. And if they don't take to the pellets right away, it keeps them from getting skinny while they're learning about eating the pellets. So the ones you got, though, by the time you got them, they should be onto protein pellets, algae wafers, and we do rotate in the occasional feeding of frozen bloodworms, frozen brine shrimp, and a coin of zucchini. Even on Hypancistrus. Hypancistrus will still nosh on zucchini. Now, they don't always eat the whole thing quickly like a bushy nose would, but, you know, they chew on it, especially on the rind. Leave the rind on. That kind of hard rind, they really like that part. Rose Munson, do you plan on getting your in black ghost knife fishes? I don't. Not right now. I've had those in the past, and that's another one that just took forever to sell, and I think we ended up giving some away. So it didn't work for us. Our customer base was not enthused. Fishing New Hampshire, NH. What are your longfin white clouds like when they matured, and do you bring in an exceptional line from a specific breeder, or just average white clouds super healthy? Yeah, so the longfin white clouds come from a very good source in Europe, and when they're full grown, it takes a while. Ours are decent size, and the long fins are coming in, but they aren't fully developed yet. It takes, with the longfin white clouds, just be patient, and they get some stunning long finnage. They're a very nice fish, and it's the highest quality strain I think that there is. Honestly, those European guys, they're pretty persnickety when it comes to keeping their lines in good shape. The nanophiles, do you plan on expanding your selection of endlers? Well, I guess not, because I haven't really thought about doing it. Doesn't mean I won't. I do. We do want to do more with guppies. We're still not where we want to be with guppies as far as the numbers we want to get and the varieties and the quality. But okay, I shouldn't say that. We have good quality guppies, but I can only get them in small numbers, and that's the issue. So I'm working on figuring out how to get them in quantity so we don't always run out. And also the price point, like some of our guppies are what, 70, 80 bucks a pair, which is just like, man, that's nuts. They're beautiful, they're good quality strains, but that's a lot of money. So trying to figure out a way to get enough of them and get them at a price that that makes sense. So we're working on the guppies quite a bit. And I guess endlers kind of are in that boat, but I'm not going to go deep on like N class versus K class and all that stuff. I like Santa Marias. They're beautiful. They're near and dear to my heart. I've kept them off and on for years. I once developed my own strain of them. I like them. We have the steak endlers because we got some to sell and they bred so fast that colony never went away. So we still have this colony that has been going for years. And some others, but I don't plan on like specializing in endlers. Denise, the pygmy cories I got from you on April 7th must have bred not long after they arrived. I found a baby pygmy cory swimming around last Friday. Oh, that's got to be the cutest thing ever. Congratulations. I'm glad to hear that they bred for you. Looking forward to my Bolivian orange lemon tetras and Venezuelan cories tomorrow. Anna Banana, those Bolivian orange lemon tetras are fantastic. They're big enough that they have their full color. Now, they might not when they get to you in the bag, right? Because they'll be stressed from shipping. But within 2 weeks after going in your tank, I bet you're going to see just some beautiful orange colors on those things. So I'm excited for you. Cheers. Hope they do well. Hope everyone does really well for you. We're not perfect. I don't think you ever can be when you're shipping live animals. Heck, it's hard enough to be perfect when you're shipping like hardware, right? Like it's hard enough to ship dry goods or wrenches or hammers or something like that without problems. You add the complexity of live animals into that mix, it's really hard, but we work super hard to try to make it so everything that goes out is healthy and no deformities, no missing eyes, no all that stuff. I don't know why I'm saying da so much today. Maybe I saw that Seinfeld episode recently. Da. Not recently. I haven't had time to watch TV in forever, but okay, hang on. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so we work really hard on it. And when something does get biased, and every now and then it does, we'll do right to fix it. So just know that, guys. We're trying our best. We are at 98.83% success getting healthy fish with no deformities that thrive for our customers to our customers. But there is that 1 point, just over 1% where there is a problem. So anyone that buys from us know we're doing our best. And when there's problems, we'll take care of you. So just let us know. You don't have to come out guns blazing. You can just say, hey, I had a problem, here's a picture, and we'll be like, yep, you sure did. Here's a refund, along with the shipping expense attached to that fish. So you aren't out the cost of the fish or the shipping cost associated with it. That's how we operate here. So let us know, Anna Banana, how they do. Trippy Aquatics, are you getting any black? Already got that one. W Robo, would the blue spotted hill trout do well in an outdoor pond? I think they would. Yeah, I think they would. I don't think you'd ever see them. I think they blend right in, but would they thrive? Yeah, I think so, especially if there's some flow in there. If you had like a waterfall trickling down into it or something. I wouldn't put them in like a small summer tub. They do like to swim a lot, and they do enjoy some water movement. They do enjoy the current. Rose, would you ever consider getting turtles? Yeah, there's a secret side of me that's a herper. I used to breed and raise mountain horn dragons, Jackson's chameleons, veiled chameleons, colubrids. With the colubrids, it was like different morphs of corns, different king snakes. My favorite were the theri, the variable king snakes. Did a lot with those. Did some Asian rat snakes, some swifts. Yeah, I love all that stuff, but man, when I was at Dean's house and at Corey's and saw their mini musk turtles, I kind of fell in love a little bit, sure. But man, right now if I have any time right now, I try to spend it with my wife and kids. Like, the kids are growing up real fast. Relationships are important and need to be nurtured, and there's very little time. So when I have free time, I spend it with them. So the idea of having a pet turtle just for funsies right now, super appealing, but not for realsies at the moment. We're trying, okay, so like, this is like a rapidly growing business. We're trying to it's kind of like, I don't know, you ever been to the rodeo? You ever seen a bull ride? That's kind of what it feels like sometimes, trying to wrangle everything. Again, not that I'm complaining. I'm tired, but I'm super happy. Would a Congo spotted puffer be okay in a 90-gallon community tank with 8 longfin rosy barbs that are very active? Ooh, wow. That's a good question. 90-gallon with 8. I'm going to say probably, because there's so much space and you only have 8 longfin rosy barbs. Those rosy barbs, I'm assuming why you're asking is, you know that rosy barbs are very active, very gregarious, very curious, and kind of very in your face with other fish. Like they want to be up and like, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Like, and if the other fish is like an introvert, it's like, please give me some space. So I think you'd be okay though. Yeah, I think so. I would have a plan B though. If those rosy barbs are just, you know, annoying that puffer, I would want to be able to separate them. Never tried it, but I think it would be okay. Tony Adams, I finally got my hands on some CW111 Vulcan cories. Congratulations. They're still young, but once they reach spawning age, your company will be the first to know if you're interested. We are interested. Yes. We're very interested in that fish. Congratulations. I hope they do awesome for you and hope you spawn a bajillion of them and get them out there because they're so cool. Maiden, awesome, thanks. Before school starts, I'll get a couple tanks going so they are ready when the kids get back in the fall. Yeah, sounds good. And, you know, the bigger the tank, the more stable it is, the easier it is to manage. Sometimes we think, oh, I'll get a little tank, that way it'll be simple. No, small tanks are harder. Parameter shift a lot more quickly. And with shrimp, you don't want parameter shifts. Can you bring in breeding pairs of the royal blue or flame dwarf gouramis? I don't have any plans to bring in more flame dwarf. Oh wait, dwarf gouramis. Sorry, I was thinking paradise fish for a second there. I can't. The only dwarf gouramis that I'll bring in right now are the ones I have, the regular dwarf gouramis, because they're the only ones that I found that are virus free. So I found pro gouramis that don't have the iridovirus, and I found dwarf gouramis that don't have iridovirus. But the breeder I get those from doesn't have royal blues or flames. So if they did, I would get a few and I would run them through a laboratory to test for iridovirus. And if they didn't have it, then I would happily bring them in. But they don't have them available. So I only bring in virus-free gouramis. What is this? What are all these crowns? This is new. I've never seen these crowns in chat before. Does this mean you're like top contributors? Oh yeah, these are the folks that, look at that, Monsterfish Gal, Jody P, and 310 Aquatics. Active in the chat and making it happen. Hey, thanks folks. Thanks for being here and being so like involved. That's pretty awesome. I've never seen that before. That's a totally new feature. The crown is yours. I bought 2 pairs of Limia Is it Isla? Can't remember how to say the scientific name exactly. Is there anything specific you feed them? A rotation of protein and veggies. Yeah, they eat everything. They shouldn't be shy eaters. As soon as they realize that that's food, if you're feeding something completely different, it might take them a little bit to like realize, oh, that's food and to eat it. But once they start eating, they're, yeah, they mob the food. They're very excited about feeding. All right, one more here, and then I think I'm gonna close it down just because, guys, I'm so tired. It's ridiculous. So, what is, looking for a good zinger of a question. Well, I don't know, I haven't read this question yet, but I like how it starts. This might be a dumb question. Always a fun way to start. But I always get suspicious of the fish on sale. Are they on sale because of a bad batch, not selling, being sick, etc.? How do you pick what goes on sale? So no, I would never do that. That would so be against our mission here at Dan's Fish. We would never be like, that fish is sick, let's put it on sale. If you read the description of the fish, it'll tell you often why it's on sale. So let's look at one. Rio Nene angelfish. Where are you? Here you are. So these are on sale because they have fin damage, especially on the tail fin. This is why they're being sold at a discounted price. What's another one? Oops, it's an H via J. Here we go. Here's one that we put on sale. these fish are perfectly healthy, but there's cosmetic damage to the fins, so they're sold at a discount. So that's usually why. Sometimes though, like these penguin tetras, I think I put them on sale. Yeah. Okay. So in order for me to actually make any money on these penguin tetras, I think I have to sell them for $8.99 or $9.99. What, for a penguin tetra? I know, that's nuts. I know you can get them at Petco for like, I don't know what it is, $2.99. I get it. But yeah, we operate in a very expensive way because we're trying to operate in the way that's best for the fish. So there's a lot of suppliers we don't do business with because we want the fish treated ethically on the supply side. When we do work with a supplier, we have them shipped to us in very loose, low-packed, low-density bags of fish. So often you'll have a bag this size and there'll be like 200 guppies in it, right? For us, there might be 25 to 50 guppies in that bag. So we're having them transported to us in a humane way where they don't get ammonia poisoning and have all the fallout from that. So we pay a ton in shipping fees and freight fees. Because instead of 200 in this volume, we're only getting a quarter of that or an eighth of that. And then we have a diagnostic lab here with 2 full-time lab technicians that just screen for disease and treat disease all day. So that's expensive. And all the other things, we ship 1 fish per bag, all of that's expensive, right? So $8.99, $9.99 is where we actually don't lose money on a fish. But I've had these penguin tetras for months and they haven't sold. I even had them in a show tank and I made a video featuring them, didn't sell. And so I was like, well, I need that tank to generate revenue. It's not generating revenue. They're perfectly healthy, big, beautiful, fully grown penguin tetras. Well, close to fully grown. I guess I'll take a hit and try to sell them at $4.99. And we still have 30 left. So sometimes that's what it is, yeah, these really aren't selling for us. We're going to put them on sale to clear them out so we can put something in that tank that will actually sell, that will help the company stay in business, as opposed to just taking up real estate, taking up precious floor space here and not generating any revenue. And then sometimes we sold through and we're just down to the last few and I want to clear the tank out so I have room for a new import. And so sometimes they'll put something on sale there just so that I can get them out and make room for the next thing. So what I'm doing is usually making room, or, ooh, those have some fin damage or something. Let's put them on sale because I'm not going to charge full price for a fish that's, doesn't have nice fins. So we'll put them on sale and we'll tell the customer. We'll say, hey, these are on sale because their fins are damaged or something like that. So that's why they're on sale. It's never because they're sick. Man, we put so many resources into trying to make sure that we never send a fish that's sick, because that's our mission. Our entire mission is send fish to the customers that will thrive for the customer long term, that are healthy. And that's why I get up here every week and do this. Oh, there's notes on there. And do the shipping report and tell you every week, here's where we're at. Here's what didn't arrive healthy. And something else I do, okay, so we make a lot of big claims here, right? I'm like, hey, we're 98.83% success shipping fish for the last 12 months. That's a big claim. And it's really good. That's a really good percentage. If you average out the industry, like, we're way, way up there. But okay, so maybe I'm lying, right? Maybe that's false. So something I do when I go talk to fish clubs is I'll literally have people stand up and I'll say, if you bought fish from me, please stand up. And they do. And I'll say, if you don't want to participate, you don't have to. Some sit down. And then I'll say, how many fish have you bought from me? They tell me, I don't know, 100 fish. And then I'll say, okay, of those, how many died? How many arrived dead or in bad shape or whatever? And they'll tell me the number, and then we calculate the percentage. And we do that there live in front of everybody. What we're trying to do here at Dan's Fish is change the industry for the better, and never send a sick fish. Now, every now and then something gets by us. Sometimes fish aren't showing symptoms. You don't know they're sick. or it's something that's really hard to detect through a laboratory or whatever. So every now and then, yeah, something will get by us, but we would never be like, that fish is sick, let's discount it and sell it. That would be so off mission. And next time I had to get up live in front of a group of people and ask them how many got there alive and how many died, I would get butchered. like the incentives to not do that have been built into the company. The incentives to not operate that way are very, very strong. So, and actually we'll go out of business if we operate that way, because anytime someone gets a fish that arrives DOA or in bad shape or whatever, we refund the cost of the fish and the shipping costs associated with it. And if much more than 1% of the fish have problems, man, it puts a real hurting on our cash flow. So yeah, no, that's not something that we would ever do. Man, if you could come for a few days and just see all the effort we put into make sure that never happens, you would understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, on that rant, I guess we'll close this out. But first, I gotta say hello to Kelly Foreman. Sister, I hope you're doing great. Please say hi to Jake for me. Get some rest, Dan. I'm about to. But then I ranted. I was gonna go get some sleep, and then I got ranty. That's what happens when I get tired. All right, with that, let's close this down. I want to thank the moderators for being here and making the chat flow smoothly. Thank you so much for volunteering your time. Much, much appreciated. I want to thank everyone who's a member of the Dan's Fish YouTube channel and that gave memberships away. Thank you so much. That's awesome. If you threw money at us, thank you for the super chats. Always appreciated, but never required. If you were active in the chat, thanks for participating. If you were not active in the chat, I still love you. Hail the Lurker Nation. If you're watching the replay, hello from the past. And if you're listening to the podcast, then that means, like some of you commented you are tonight, that means I really need to find some time to upload the last several live streams up so that you have more to listen to. I'm behind in getting that done. But thanks for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks. So let me give you a date. So don't forget, July 4th, we have the barbecue here at Dan's Fish. You're all invited. We'll feed you. You can come hang out, see all the fish, see the operation, chat with fish nerds, and get a presentation on how one of our breeders that we buy our Celestial Pearl Danios from does it. So that's July 4th. And we'll be back live streaming on July 18th, Wednesday, July 18th. Until then, I hope you have a great one. Bye-bye.